Good morning, third grade. Welcome to Thursday, a rainy Thursday. I hope that you are staying cozy and warm inside. And on these rainy days, it's probably kind of fun to have some schoolwork to do, right? Yes, right, Miss Lewis. Okay, so we're going to get started with lesson 11.4 in our math books. And we're going to be learning how to find area. Now, when we find perimeter, we are finding just the outside measure of something. So if I have a garden and I need to put fence around that garden, I just need to know how much distance there is around this figure, and I can just add these numbers together. That's what we've been doing the last couple days. But now area is something different. Now I want to know how much soil do I need to cover the area. Now I've got to figure out how much soil can fit into this entire area of this rectangle. So the area is going to be measured a little differently. Think about this. This might be what we call baseboard. Do you see in your room, around the edges of the room, there might be some wood or some other kind of baseboard that kind of holds the carpet down? And then the area is how much carpet fills that entire space. So today we're going to be looking at area, and I'm on page 643. How is finding the area of a figure different from finding the perimeter of a figure? That's what we're going to find out. So, you learned that perimeter is the distance around a figure. It is measured in linear or line units, units that are used to measure the distance between 2 points. So, from this point to this point, and from this point to this point. So we're measuring lines, sides. Area is the measure of the number of unit squares needed to cover a flat surface. A unit square is a unit with a side length of 1 unit, and it has an area of 1 square unit. You'll kind of get to know what that means in a little bit. So they showed us a picture of 1 square unit. Here it is. So this side, this side, this side, this side are all the same because it's a square. Now it says to find the perimeter of this figure, this first figure, we're going to measure 1, 2, 3, 4 units all the way around the outside. But for area, we are going to take 1 times 1, and we get 1 square unit. Here we had 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 units. But there's something different when we say 1 square unit. We put this square here to say that we're finding area. So it seems like, well, aren't they using more for this? Yes, they are. That's why we square it. That would be the carpet in the room. This would be the outside edge of the room. You can count the number of units on each side of a figure to find its perimeter. That's what we did the last 2 days. You can count the number of square units inside a figure to find its area in square units. So the perimeter is the outside edge. The area is the inside that is covered. So it says activity. Use your geoboard to form a figure made from 2 units 2 unit squares. Record the figure on this dot paper. I'm going to do it with my colored pencil because we don't have our geo boards. So I'm going to go 1 square unit, 2 square units. Can you see that? 1 square, 2 square. 2 square units. Now the perimeter would be different. That's just the outside. That would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But the units would not be squared. Let's take a look at this one. Change the rubber bands on the geoboard. We're not going to do that. But we're going to make 3 square units. So 1, 2, 3. Huh. Did you see my shape that I drew? It's kind of hard to see. 1, 2, 3 square units. That means everything that's covered inside. Square units. Now this perimeter, we're going to just count the spaces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Let's turn the page. The directions say, try this. Draw 3 different figures that are each made from 4 unit squares. Find the area of each figure. 4 unit squares. Let's go ahead and try to draw something. You're just going to draw with 4 unit squares. Did anyone draw that? I'm going to try another one. Did anyone draw that? How about that? Let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4 square units. Let's count this one. 1, 2, 3, 4 square units. 1, 2, 3, 4 square units. Okay? We're counting squares. So it says shade each unit square in the figure shown. Count the unit squares to find the area. They've already shaded these for us here. So we're just going to count. Now if we can't see for sure, just draw your lines. Now can you count the squares? Now that I've added those lines? You see 6? I'm going to draw lines on this one. And when I draw the lines, I'm just connecting the dots. Now, can I count the square units? 1, 2, 3. Oh, we could count by threes. 3, 6, 9. Or we could say 1, 2, 3 times 1, 2, 3. 9. Okay, I'm going to let you work on that for a little while. And then I'm going to go on to page 647. If you're ready to go, follow along with me. So on page 647, it says count to find the area for the shape. And the first one they did for us. And this is pretty easy. We're just going to do this. Add some lines. And count the squares. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You can do the other 2 on your own. Then it says for number 4 and 5, don't miss these 2. Don't miss these. They're saying if you were carpeting a floor, so you want to fill in the space, would you measure the perimeter or the area? And you just write perimeter or area, whichever one you think is correct. The next one, you're doing fencing to go around the outside of a garden. Would that be area or perimeter? You write which one it would be. Okay, and then we go on to number 6. We're going to use this diagram to answer the next 2 questions. That's what it tells us in the directions. Use the diagram for 6 and 7. Roberto is building a platform for his model railroad. What is the area of the platform? So you're going to count all the squares inside. Roberto will put a border around the edges of the platform. How much border will he need? Now we're going to find the perimeter. Okay, and then we're going to go to page 648. And we don't have rubber bands, but they put the shapes on those geoboards for us. Number 1, Josh used rubber bands to make the shape below on his geoboard. What is the area? How many squares are filled in? And you can draw lines again to connect your dots. Wilma drew the shape below on dot paper. What is the area of the shape she drew? Then we get to our review. Number 3. Leonardo knows it is 42 days until summer break. Woohoo! How many weeks is it until Leonardo's summer break? We want to divide those days into weeks. Oh, and there's a hint. There are 7 days in each week. And I just told you what operation you're going to use, so if you were not listening real closely, slide this back and listen again. Number 4, Nan cut a submarine sandwich into 4 equal parts, and she ate one part. What fraction represents the part of the sandwich that Nan ate? Number 5, Wanda is eating breakfast at 15 minutes before 8. What time is this? It's before 8, so it's 7 something. And if you need to, go back and use one of those clocks in your book from earlier. And then if it's breakfast, would that be AM or PM? Be sure to label it. Number 6, Dick has 2 bags of dog food. Each bag contains 5 kilograms of food. 2 bags, 5 kilograms in each. How many kilograms of food does Dick have in all? When I say in all, what should I do? All right, I'll be back later.